Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Build Your Best Life. We are super excited to have you here with us this morning. Hi, Anastasia. How are you?
Good morning, Miss Deborah. I am great. How have you been? How's the new year started off for you?
Just wonderful. No complaints. No complaints at all.
Super
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm glad everyone has tuned in this morning. Please make sure that you like and share our page. But my passion and purpose are to assist young men ages 15 to 24 to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. I want to see every young man live out their potential. I believe it is better to train early rather than to live later, to train to fix later. And we are here also for our mothers with sons to encourage them and assist them. But we need all of you, our Build Your Best Life community. That includes parents, grandparents, educators, neighbors, leaders, coaches, mentors. Need everybody to assist us in reaching out. And that is our theme for this year, reach out. It's all about reach. We have to reach out and help in order to make a difference. And that's what we want to do, make a difference. Well, this morning, it is Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia, and we are real people, as you can see. We have real topics and we have real talk. So, we are super excited about our topic this morning, which is resolutions versus affirmations. It is 2023. Are you someone that makes those resolutions every year? If so, do you keep up with them? I know a lot of times it's easier said than done. Affirmations is the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. You write your affirmation, therefore, you write down those things that you believe, you know they're true, and see, so therefore, you should want to affirm them. So we want to talk a little bit about today about those resolutions and affirmations. And they both probably have pros and cons. So we hope you're open to our conversation.
Yeah, that's correct, Miss Deborah. They both have their pros and cons. They both have their ups and downs. But one thing that's definitely true in both situations and um, in both words or both behaviors would be persistence is key. And so I'm going to start off with resolutions. And I know when we hear resolutions, the first thing that we're thinking, especially with it still being January, is that New Year's resolutions. And so before we can get into even how we're going to approach the new year and what we're going to do in it, we have to know what a resolution is. And Oxford Languages says that a resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something. Also, it's the quality of being determined or resolute. So we can see that it's not only saying that, yes, I'm going to do this, yes, I'm going to do that. This is what 2023 is going to bring for me. This is what I'm going to do all year. I'm going to put down soda. I'm going to put down all breads and grains. I'm going to make sure that I eat vegetables at least 5 times a day. Those type of things are not only what resolutions are about, but in definition, it is the firm decision to do or not to do something. So when we're thinking about resolutions, we have to figure out, okay, what is it that we really want to do and why? Why do you want to do it? So when you're figuring out what it is that you want to do, first you have to give yourself some tips to make sure that whatever the decision is, you're going to be able to stick with it. So let's start out with the why. What are you doing this for? What is the purpose of it? If it is that you've decided that you're going to walk every day, which has been a decision of mine, even though it has not exactly been a resolution or I have not been too resolute with it, but it has been a decision of mine. And a part of those decisions are for me to be healthier, for me to be wiser, for me to be a stronger person. What you see on the screen here was a part of one of my daughter's decisions to finish this puzzle. 500 pieces. It is literally still on my table in front of me. 500 pieces, she said that she wanted to finish, she wanted to get completed, and she's been at this for about a month now, and it's still undone. We don't want to treat our resolutions the way that this puzzle has been treated. Thank you, Miss Deborah. When we're making the decisions of why, and we're thinking about how we're going to execute these things, the why is supposed to be more prevalent than the how. If we're like this puzzle, starting it out for entertainment purposes, we're not going to be too focused on when it is that we complete it. We're not going to be too worried about it because there is no specific timeline, there is no specific goal attached to it other than the end result of a pretty picture. Your why should have a deeper purpose. Coach Ricardo always talks to us about the five F's: family, faith, fun, fitness, and finances. Your why should be attached to one of those five things. It should either be something that is going to increase your level of fun, it's going to increase your finances, it is going to increase your relationship closeness to your family, it's going to increase your faith. It has to have some sort of attachment to one of the five because you're not going to hold it so near and dear to you. You are not going to have it as a goal if there is no strong end result and purpose in it. So that is your why. Now I'm going to give you some tips on how you can stay determined, stay focused, try to stay resolute as you go through your processes of reaching your five F's and sticking with your resolutions. So, number one is ditch the usual verbiage. You've got to ditch the usual. Oh, I promise. Oh, I need to. Yes, you do need to. But like I said, you have to continue with your why. You have to keep your why at the forefront of what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're thinking. So these tips are from a few different places, but mainly they are from an article by Lisa Truesdale. And so what she says in her ditch the usual verbiage is, first of all, stop calling it a resolution. That's the first thing. There are positive, the word resolution has a positive meaning in the first place, but there's a lot of negative attachments to the word because it sounds so strict. It sounds so rigid. It sounds like something that is unbendable or unbreakable. And even just having that in your head, sometimes you can feel that when I don't start it or I don't get it done from today, January 28th, then, oh man, that means I already start off wrong. I'm not going to finish right and all the rest of that other stuff. If that word resolution has a negative attachment to you and it makes you feel negatively about the decision that you've made, then you're going to need to stop using that word. If it's true that only 8% keep theirs, meaning 8% of people actually keep their resolutions, it means that the other 92% feel they've failed. So that means the word has likely taken on a negative connotation, and that could also be the reason for some failures. Instead, choose a more positive word like goal or plan. And that is tip number one: ditch the usual vocab. My next one is be specific. Now, in being specific, I know that a lot of persons have heard about SMART goals. They can be applied to resolutions also. When you are thinking of something that you would like to achieve, you're going to give yourself, you're going to be specific. That is the first one, the S in SMART. And then you're going to make sure that it's measurable. You're going to make sure that it's actually attainable. You're not going to give yourself a goal that you know you cannot reach, or it's going to be like over the moon difficult for you to get there. You got to make sure that it's attainable. You got to make sure that it's realistic. And most importantly, you've got to make sure that it's time bound. You got to put not just one time limit on it. You're going to put step by step limits on it. When a person is building a house, they're not just going to put the end goal to say that this is going to be done at the end of 2025. No, they're going to say that by 6 months into the project, this is where we'd like to be or where we need to be. 8 months into the project, this is where we need to be. You have to plan your steps also. So, in planning your steps, you have to be specific. When you're setting your goal, make sure that you are being specific. Try not to make your plan too broad or too unrealistic, or you're increasing the chances that you won't be able to meet the challenge. So, for instance, instead of saying my resolution is to lose 50 pounds, try something a little more specific, like my goal is to lose at least 5 pounds in the first month. If you want to cut out sugar, don't say, my resolution is to stop eating sweets. Say something like, my plan is to cut my sugar intake by at least half in the first month. It gives it a better feeling for yourself. It doesn't sound so hard to yourself, it doesn't sound so harsh. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room and it makes it more attainable. It makes it more realistic for you to be able to complete. So that is your number two. Be specific. So your next one is tell your friends and family. I know some of you are thinking, why in the world am I going to tell these people what it is that I'm planning on doing? No, you should. And here's why. If you let them know, then you build yourself an accountability system. If your family is anything like mine, your friends are anything close to mine, when it is that I've said that I'm going to do something, they're going to hold my foot to the fire. And every time that they see me, they're going to be like, hey, weren't you supposed to do? Or weren't you going to la 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 la? And so those are the type of friends and family that you want to make sure are a part of your goal process. And so you're going to make sure that they know what your goal is. If it is that you want to go more in depth and speak to them about the step by step planning phases, whereas you have at this point I want to be here and at this point I want to be there, then go ahead. But you got to make sure that it's someone that's going to hold you accountable to what it is that you're saying, not just someone who's going to be negative with you and say, oh man, really? That's what you want to do? No, man, you can't do that. Come on, man. I tried to do that last year and I really couldn't do it. No, you got to be speaking to someone that's going to speak life into you also. And so for your tell your friends and your family, it says repeat your goals aloud in front of others, and you're more likely to stick to them because you'll feel accountable. Surround yourself with people who will encourage you with, how's your plan going? And good job, rather than disheartening comments like, what? How could you have eaten? How could you have eaten that candy bar? The statement, how could you have eaten that candy bar? It puts you on a guilt trip. It makes you feel as if, oh man, I have made this mistake and this mistake is irreparable and I can't come back from it. And that's just a candy bar. That's just on the resolution of not having sweets or trying to cut down on your sweets intake. For bigger resolutions and bigger goals, to have somebody say something negative to you, it can really crush your heart and crush your spirit, especially dependent on who the person is. So make sure that you tell your family and your friends because you want an accountability partner and you want somebody to make sure that you are sticking to your goal and also encouraged as you continue on your journey. But you've got to be very careful of who it is that you're telling these goals to, because there are some people that just will not help you out. They will not want to see you win. Very unfortunate, but it's true. The next one is take baby steps. We look at the entire year as being 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days. When we start out the year and January rolls in, it's like, oh, great, yeah, I've got a whole lot of time. But if we're not planning our steps in those times, then June is going to come and we're not going to realize exactly how far how much time we've already lost and how much time we have left. And so then when June comes around and you realize that, oh my goodness, I haven't gotten as far as I wanted to get, I haven't hit the first set of steps in my goal, then you're going to try and rush everything through and you're just going to try and pile everything on yourself and add that pressure and add that pain to what it is that you're trying to do. It no longer becomes just a mere goal or accomplishment, but it becomes a bit painstaking because you're trying so hard to fit all of the plans that you had for the entire year now into the 6 month period because you didn't plan your steps properly and you didn't take the baby steps necessary for you to complete them comfortably. Remember, we're being realistic in these goals. We're making sure that they are attainable. So while you're planning them and you're planning your steps and your goal marks along the way, you're making sure that those are realistic and attainable also. And so it says break a larger goal down into smaller steps that are easier to meet. Don't just say, I want to save money. Outline how you want to save money. Formulate a solid plan, like investigating ways to cut household bills first, then having a percentage of your paycheck automatically sent to a savings account, then calling your insurance agent to review all possible discounts. Once you achieve a small goal along your journey, you're more likely to set another, and so on until you end up meeting the larger goal anyway. And so we're going to make sure that when we take these baby steps, we are firm, we are strong. We are going to make sure that these are the steps that are getting us forward and not moving us backward. We're going to make sure that as we talk to our friends and family, we're going to take their advice. Sometimes there's someone that tried to achieve the same goal that you're working at now. Coach Ricardo always said there's always someone there to lead you. And so it may be one of those friends or family that you told about your goal that would be able to help you in how to plan your baby steps and make sure that you're headed in the right direction without being discouraged. And so that was the next one. Take baby steps. So next is reward yourself. I know that it sounds like, well, a lot of times what people like to do is when they've reached the goal entirely, that is when it is that they want to throw a party, they want to have a housewarming, they want to, do something for the entire achievement of the goal. But we have to remember that along the way, we have to keep ourselves encouraged. We have to remember that it's not only about achieving the end goal, but it's also about getting better every day. And so each day that we've come to one of those smaller baby steps, we gotta give yourself a little treat. Now, I'm not telling you that if your goal is to cut out sugar, that you're gonna sit down and eat an ice cream cake because you've gone 6 months without sugar. No, you're gonna cause your system to crash. I'm not telling you that. That doesn't have to be the way that you treat yourself. But what you can do is get a Pandora bracelet. Doesn't have to be specifically Pandora, but it's a more common one. Get yourself a Pandora bracelet. Each time that you reach a goal, each time that you've taken one of those baby steps and you've successfully reached the benchmark that you wanted to, get yourself a charm. Each time that you get a charm and you start building that bracelet and building that bracelet, you have something physical to look back on that's going to be a reminder of where you were, and you're going to be able to see the steps that you've made since then and your progression moving forward. That's one of the ways that you can reward yourself. Even if that you don't really feel like you need that physical thing to look at and be reminded, then you can do something else like just going on a date night with yourself. I know it sounds a little bit weird, like you don't really want to be the person that's sitting in the movie by themselves. I've done it many times. And guess what? The movie is still as good. You're gonna go ahead and you're still gonna enjoy it, especially if it's a great movie. You're gonna enjoy it anyways. But little things that you can do for yourself that bring you pleasure, bring you enjoyment, don't forget to do those when you hit those milestones and reach those benchmarks in your goal journey. And so it says Made it to the end of January with your goal met? Great. Time to celebrate. Choose a little reward completely unrelated to your goal. Then do yourself the best favor of all and formulate another plan for February. In formulating another plan, it's not formulating another plan that is attached to your goal. It's formulating another plan for how you're going to celebrate when you've reached that goal. We're not talking about if we reach that goal, we're talking about when. When it is that we get there, when it is that we achieve this thing that we have set out to do. Because guess what? February is going to come and go anyways. No matter what it is that you decide to do, whether you're going to complete this goal or not, February is going to come in a matter of days, as a matter of fact, and it's going to go by. And so when you are looking at your planning process of achieving the goal, don't forget to plan on how you're going to celebrate each step of the way also. So that was the next one, reward yourself. And my last one is don't give up. I know it's easy to say. I know you've heard it a million times before, but what you need to keep in mind is your why. Why am I doing this? Why did I make this decision? Why did I feel like this was a good idea? Why? Let that be your motivation. Let that be what keeps you going. Let that be what says to you with that small, tiny, childlike voice, don't give up. If you followed any or all of the tips above and you still didn't meet your goal, it's okay. At least you made the goal in the first place, which means that you know it's a change you really want to make. Just dust yourself off and try again. And you don't have to wait until the new year rolls around once more. I believe that that is a common mistake that a lot of us make. We believe that we have to wait until Sunday when the week starts again, or Monday if that's the beginning of your week, to start again in order to reset and refocus and try again at something. It's not the case. If you've fallen off from your walk-in routine, fallen off meaning, you've gotten a bit distracted with some other stuff, maybe something came up at work, a big project that kept you really busy, so you weren't able to walk, go to the gym, do whatever it is that you would usually do at the time that you would do it or with the consistency that you would usually do it. A lot of us think and feel that if we do not start again at the beginning of the week, then, oh, okay, Tuesday or Wednesday came in, I'll wait until next Monday before I start again. No, you don't have to. At whatever time the opportunity comes, at whatever time the motivation comes within you, just start. That's the hardest part of anything, to just start it. Now, after you've already gotten through the hardest part of it, which is starting, it's continuing that motivation to not give up. Don't allow yourself to feel defeated because it's taking longer than you expected it to. Don't allow yourself to feel defeated or to feel that you're ready to quit or you want to let it go completely just because the plans that you started out with haven't been working out the way that you want them to, and they haven't been accepted or supported by the persons that you feel like should be supporting them. That's not why you did it. That's not why you made this decision. You made this decision so that you would be better. Remember, we're working on those 5 F's: our faith, family, fun, finances, and fitness. It's attached to one of those things. Your goal should be attached to one of those things. And so you're going to make sure that what it is that you are doing is for you. And that's going to be a part of your motivation not to give up and not to allow anyone or anything to deter you. So I'm going to leave you with this quote. It is by Brad Paisley, and it says, "Tomorrow is the first blank page of 365 of a 365 page book. So write a good one." Let me read it again. Tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365-page book. So write a good one.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. I love that resolution. So, whatever we thought in the past about resolutions, Anastasia kind of cleared it up for us, made it plainer. Sometimes when things are, we go by what we've always heard or always thought. That's how we react. But when we get some clear, concise information, then we can make better decisions. But I love those points that you gave. Number one, change your verbiage. So you don't have to call it a resolution. It's a goal. It's something that you're looking forward to. It's a purpose. So change the name of it. Two, be specific. Don't just say, I want to lose weight, but say, my goal in 1 month is to, or 1 week is to, however that, but be specific. Three, tell your family and friends. You need accountability, because if we just keep it in ourselves, hey, it doesn't matter whether we make it or not, because nobody will know, right? So we need
Exactly.
we should want to do it. So therefore, it's okay if someone is going to keep us accountable. And four, I think this is where a lot of people fail. Is four is take baby steps. We try to do it all at one time, and so then
Mhm.
we get overwhelmed, then we want to stop. And then five, I love the reward yourself, but I really, really love the idea of having that bracelet and putting the different charms on that. That would be wonderful at the end of the year. You can look at that bracelet and all those accomplishments you have made. How great is that? So
Mhm.
wonderful idea. And then lastly, don't give up. You don't fail unless you don't try, or you start and you just give up. If you fall or make a stutter step, just start again. It's okay. It's okay. That's why you have your accountability partners. They can encourage you. I know you slipped and had that ice cream sundae, but it was your birthday. Just make up for it tomorrow and keep going. So thank you so much, Anastasia.
You're
Well,
welcome,
guess
Miss Deborah.
well, I am going to talk about affirmations. Affirmations. I am allowed to take my own path. I put my energy into the things that matter to me. I am free to create the life I desire. I trust in my ability to make good decisions. That's just one example of an affirmation that you can say daily. Affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge and overcome self sabotaging and negative thoughts. We'll say that again: overcome self sabotaging and negative thoughts. Because a lot of times, if we think negatively or we say we can't do something, we never will get it done. So, those affirmations will help us, because we're going to write positive statements. I will lose weight. I will begin to walk each day. I will learn a different language. But it is positive, and so you're more likely to accomplish it. So when you repeat them, normally affirmations, you say them daily. So then when you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. And I'm just going to put those up. So, generally at the beginning of the year, we reflect on what has happened the past year and what we want to do going forward. So then that's a good time to decide some things that we want to do. So looking back on last year, think about it. What worked for you? So if something worked, you may not want to change it. You're going to keep doing it, but it worked. Then what didn't work? It was something that was substantial that you really wanted to do, and you didn't have those tips that Anastasia just gave us, and you gave up. So you wanted to do something, but it didn't work. So was there something that was overwhelming for you? Was there a situation of people that gave you angst last year? You might want to decide, how can I better relate to that person? And then it was, is there anything that you want to change? So if it is, then you decide to sit down and write your affirmations, your positive statements. If they're positive and if you wrote them, you're more likely to what? Stick with them. And a lot of people are into affirmations. And I would say probably just over the last couple of years that I started really getting into affirmations, but I really, really love them. But I'm going to give you some points of what I think are really key as far as when you have those affirmations and getting them to work for you. So, one is stating those affirmations daily, as I stated. So, you want to come up with them, but you want to state them daily. First of all, you need to be intentional. Intentional. So, first, you look back at last year, you saw the need to do something differently, or you thought about some new things that you need to do. You've made the affirmation. So when you made that affirmation, you're making a plan. You make a plan. So you got something concrete. And that plan is going to be essential in you moving toward a successful life. It's there. It's right in front of me. I'm saying it every day. So it's not like it's something I said. Well, you know what? I'm going to start walking every day. And then I don't see my sneakers anywhere. I don't have it posted anywhere, and I'm not saying an affirmation every day. So I'm likely not to think about it. I'm not being intentional. If I'm intentional, I'm going to give you some pointers or something to highlight that for me, right? So we want to be intentional. And then we have to be consistent, as I stated, be consistent. So saying that daily, that affirmation daily helps to ingrain it in your mind. So I'm saying it. As an example, I'm going to say another one. Good morning, Lord. And I say this every morning. Good morning, Lord. What wonderful things are you going to make happen today? What wonderful things are we going to make happen today? So I say that every morning. And so it's ingrained in my mind. So I can get up and something can change my routine, but it's like, hey, something's wrong. What's going on? I immediately know, hey, I didn't say my affirmations. I have to say those, or it's not, I can't get going. And so it's a constant reminder. And then stating something consistently over a period of time also makes it what? A habit. So, like I said, I have to say it. It's like if I don't do it, it's like, I'm going to stop saying it's like, if I don't do it, it's different for me that day. I'm not moving consistently, smoothly for that time period. It's like something's off, and I have to figure out what it is. So being intentional and being consistent are two really big pieces of that affirmation working for you. And you can start an affirmation at any age. I think 2 years ago, maybe I wrote one for my one of my granddaughters, and she started to learn it. Then she stopped, so she's not into it right now. But it's not never too early. And I started her out saying, "My name is Natalia Mack. I am beautiful. I am smart, and I was made by God." So that is instilling in her. She knows who made her. She knows she is beautiful. That's loving yourself, and she knows she's smart. So then that gets her going every day. So I know she'll come back to it and do it in her time and God's time. But it's never too early to start instilling in your children. We got to train them up. Say those affirmations, write them down, those positive things in your life. There's enough negative things in the world and around you. You want those positive things, right? And then my third one is support. Support. Making the plan, you are clear where you need support. And then what? Ask for it. A lot of times we fail because just say, you say, I want to walk, but you really, really don't want to walk. You will find every excuse there is not to walk. But if you know that, you get some support from somebody. Hey, Dad, make sure before you leave the house, Deborah, don't forget, you got to go walk today. Tiki, send me a text. Have you walked today? Carol, call me up. Hey, sis, what's going on? When the last time you walked? But you may need that support. We're having that affirmation and letting your family and friends know, just like Anastasia said about your resolutions. Other people know when you make that plan, you make it plain, you're not afraid to talk about it, you can get that support. So never fail to get the support that you need. Ensure you are supportive in the relationships that you have. Because again, that's being positive. We need people in our lives. When we start, saying, "Oh, I want to be by myself. I don't want to talk to anybody." Well, who calling me now? I don't want to talk to them. That's not good. We have to interact with others. So be supportive in other relationships. That should be one of your affirmations, one of the positive things that you want to do. And then make it clear, even to yourself, that there are some areas of your life that should be non negotiable. Non negotiable. What I mean about that, two things that should be non negotiable: your physical and mental health. As you look over your past year, did you allow other people to stop you from doing things, or if somebody that gives you angst or irritates you all the time? It's just like they're trying to find out what can they do to push a button, and you just allow them to do that. That's impacting your mental health. It's okay to disconnect from people. So you have to look out for yourself. And also, you must love yourself. Never forget that you are number one in your life. Third, know your self worth. We are talking about self worth this month, and self worth is key because that is the values and the ethics and everything that's inside you that makes you do the things that you do, what you believe with all your might. You know, it's not right to steal. I need to be punctual. Whatever it is that you believe in, your self worth, it's important that that's not negotiable. And again, I have to stop, say this one again: take care of your physical and mental health. So, again, make sure that you love yourself. You never forget that you're number one. Know your self worth and take care of your physical and mental health. And I want to give you one more affirmation, and then I'm going to give my affirmation that I say. It's one I got from Effective Living, and it's: I was not born to be sick, broke, or frustrated. I am blessed in every area of my life. From this day forward, I will be the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. I will be the lender and not the borrower. Whatever I put my hands to prospers. All things are working together for my good. My future is brighter than my past. And then my affirmation: I am a beautiful, brown, intelligent gift from God. He has given me a purpose to assist others in building their best lives. I will be successful because I will smile, be pleasant, and bold. I will be successful stepping out on faith and setting my goals. Yes, I am stepping out with humility, dignity, and grace. My word is consistency, and with it, I will win this race. I will be successful because I am in charge of my life, scheduling each day with God first, family second. And those other things I will set in place. With God leading and family support, I know I won't go wrong. I will be successful because I refuse to let rejections wreck my day. Instead, those no's will make me stronger and bolder. Confidence is the way. My blessings will soar, my spirit will roar. You see, for me, great things are in store. My purpose and my passion is reaching the lives of others and teaching them to turn their obstacles around. The B is my reminder to go, go, go. The golden rule guides my soul, and knowing how to treat others is my role. To God be the glory for those things in my life He has done. So write your affirmation uh, and stick with it. Make sure that it is something that is positive in your life that you want to follow.
Oh, that was great, Miss Deborah. I am so impressed with the fact that you have created a resolution for your grandbaby, affirmation for your grandbaby. I know that it may have been so hard for her to keep up with. How old is she?
Well, she's 8 now, but I wrote it when she was 6.
Yeah, it's a little hard to keep up with because they can't see the end goal and they don't understand the purpose. But like we said, the mere fact that she tried and that she started with it and that she understands that there's some importance to it, even if she doesn't understand the entire concept, that's a really great thing. That's something that I think we all should look into, you know. I
Right.
remember seeing a video a few years ago. There was this lady walking her, I want to say son, but I actually think it's her daughter. Anyway, her child. She's walking her child to school, and the child is saying, "Oh, I think it is. I think it is a girl. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am successful." And they're just repeating these three things, just walking along the sidewalk, and it was just absolutely so cute. But I think that because it was at their level and it was just so encouraged and they had become made it such a part of their walk to school routine that
Um,
even though the child didn't really understand it, he was setting the pace for his entire day, and starting off on such a positive note only leaves you to look at things more positively for the rest of the day. It sets your spirit, like setting the alarm clock. It wakes you up at a certain time. Well, you set your spirit before
right.
you walk into the room sometimes. I've definitely learned that. Ooh, child. But anyway, thank you so much, Miss Deborah, for your points on affirmations, especially when it came to your physical and mental health. I don't think that was something that I considered in quite a little bit, but your physical and mental health is very important. A lot of us think about the physical when we're talking about our resolutions, but our mental health is where the affirmations come in. Our self-esteem, our feelings of our self-worth, those self-sabotaging thoughts that we're trying to get away from and that we're trying to knock out of our regular routine. I definitely took a lot with me from your points on affirmations, Ms. Deborah.
Thank you. And thank everyone for your comments. This was, to me, a great, great topic. I loved it. All right. So please join us Tuesday for Reach Out Tuesday. My guest is going to be Pastor Herb Ford, and many of you have seen him on my broadcast before. He's phenomenal. And we're going to be talking about the internal reward system. So please join us Tuesday. So, Anastasia, you want to tell us about what you are doing? Uh,
Well, if it is that anyone would want to reach me, they can reach me through my Be Becoming platform, which is on Instagram and also on Facebook. And it is geared toward helping students with career goals and career paths and things like that, determining what it is that they want to do with their future and how it is that they're going to get there.
Okay, awesome. And we can also see you on Effective Living on Monday nights. What Monday are you on?
I am on fifth Mondays for effective living. Coach Ricardo would kill me. I am on fifth Mondays for effective living. And so it won't be for another few weeks, but those are my Mondays.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. And
Oh,
I am,
oh, oh. And then we have Chucks and Pearls.
yeah, we have Chucks and Pearls, and we will be back on in March. Yeah, third Saturday in March. Awesome. I can't wait for the Pearls to get back together. Yes,
It's
and please,
always a good time.
it's always a good time. Oh, and we got to say congratulations. I'm glad you mentioned that. We have to say congratulations to one of our pearls, Anita. She's now a grandmommy. A little
Oh,
angel has arrived. So congratulations to her and her son, Ty. Yeah. And please, please, please make sure you check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org, so you can read the blogs that I post each Monday. You can see our calendar of events, and we got some awesome events going on this year with our mothers, fathers, education, and grateful. Everybody can't wait for that Get Grateful conference, but those dates and the speakers are already out there on the calendar, so you can check those out. Those are in May, June, the end of July, August, and November. So check those out. Also, you can see the services that I offer, which is speaking, consultations, coaching, webinar speaking. And I'm here to assist. So please, 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 if you or your son, your grandson need some assistance in stepping it up and overcoming those obstacles and building their best lives, please reach out. I mean, what is it going to hurt for you to at least get a consultation to find out if this is something that will help? So please, please, please reach out. So again, you have anything else before we go, Anastasia?
no, I don't. I am good. I just like to remind everybody to not give up and to make sure that their fit, their physical and mental health are part of their goal setting and their affirmations, and they do not forget their why.
All right, great. Thank you. Now, as you go along your busy day, you may encounter a young man who has lost his way. Don't shake your head. Don't steady your path. Stop, reach out, give the young man a helping hand. Please, please, please. It's all about reach. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'll see you, talk to you soon, Anastasia. Hope to see everybody on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a blessed and safe weekend. Bye-bye.